Before we jump into today's show, I've got a really exciting announcement to make. The autumn cohorts for Start Your Podcast group program are now open. There are 5 dates between September and October, and it's a 6-week program that will get you launched before Christmas. So if podcasting was on your to-do list this year, if you really want to get your podcast up and done by the end of 2023, then come and join me for one of those cohorts and let's make it happen. I have a free masterclass available for you called Understanding the Power of Podcasting. You can go over to donnaeade.com/masterclass, watch the masterclass and get access to that enrollment. I hope to see you in one of the autumn cohorts very soon. That's donnaeade.com/masterclass. Let's get back to the show. You're listening to the Society of Professional Wedding Vendors podcast. I'm your host, Donna Eade, and today we are talking lead generation. So if you want to increase your leads this weekend, listen on. I have another awesome guide for you to go along with this episode, so don't worry about writing it all down. Just head over to www.spwv.co.uk/003 to download your copy. Let's dive in. I'm going to take you through 5 tips to increase your leads, and these are all on the download guide, so you can go into more detail there. Tip number 1 is to refresh your website. So this means changing up the images, changing the fonts. You could go for a total rebrand, and that might be something that you want to do, given that we've got a bit of time at the moment. And if you do, then you could go through a complete rebrand overhaul on your website. But if you just want something nice and quick, something easy to freshen up your website, change out the images, change the fonts. With fonts, you shouldn't be looking at more than 3 fonts on a page. 2 of those should be headings, and then all of the text copy should be in the same font. It can get very overwhelming to somebody, and they are likely to jump straight off your website if there is loads of different fonts, if they're all squirrely scripty fonts that they can't read. So try and keep it clear, try and keep your fonts down to a minimum, and change up those images, and it will really attract more people to your website. Other people who have already been on your website will also see, oh, something's changed. So when they come back to your site, they'll be more intrigued to have a look round. If you leave your images all the same, if you don't change things up occasionally, people think that you've forgotten all about your website. So that's something nice, quick and easy that you could do this weekend. Top tip number 2 is to send out testimonial requests. Given that we are all sort of locked down at the moment, and a lot of us are working from home, and some of us aren't working but are at home because of what's going on, we've got a bit of time. Send out an email request to every client you've had in the last 6 months that hasn't given you a testimonial, and ask them if they would mind providing you with a testimonial. You can send them an email, you could send them a survey monkey survey so that you can get a bit more information from them, or you could even hop on a call, record the call, and then write that out as a testimonial. But if you send out an email, just make sure that you follow up a week later and just ask them if they got your email, check in with them, and get those testimonials coming in, because that will be very powerful, both on your website, on your social medias. Word of mouth is such a powerful source of new leads. So get those testimonials in and you will see a difference. Tip number 3 is a big one, and it is one that I struggle with myself. So I am slapping my own wrist while I'm saying this, and it is get consistent with your social media. Find a way to show up daily, whether that is posting at the same time daily, so you make it a routine, every morning with your morning cup of tea, you go on and you post your Instagram post or your Facebook post, or you could even do it in advance. So every Sunday for an hour, you plan out the next week's posts and get them scheduled so that they're there. Ask questions, encourage comments, and hop in and respond to those comments. Even if you schedule your posts on a Sunday, still show up daily. If somebody came to your feed and the last post was last month or last year, they're going to question your commitment whether you're still in business, and they'll more likely just move on rather than ask, are you still in business? So this showing up is really important. If you can schedule 1 or 2 times a day to just hop onto social, reply to comments that you've received, and to go into other accounts and comment on those, you will see a big difference with the traffic that you're getting to your social posts and then from there to your website. Tip number 4 is build your networking list. So fellow vendors can be such a great source of leads. If you find other vendors in your area that fit with your style, engage with them, get on social, email them, ask for a meetup via Zoom while we're all stuck at home. Make connections and build relationships. You can create genuine friendships this way, and they will naturally lead to leads flowing back and forth. Take this time to create that group around you of like-minded vendors, and you can then recommend each other, and that can go a long way into building up your leads. SPWV is a great way to do this. We encourage networking between members on and offline. So if you want to get on our waiting list, head over to www.spwv.org. We'll be officially opening our doors in July to the mass public of UK wedding vendors, and we would love to see you in there and help you build your vendor connections. Finally, tip number 5 is to get a sign-up banner on your website. For GDPR purposes, you need to be careful in the way you word things, so you can't offer a freebie in exchange for their email address anymore. But you can ask them to sign up for your newsletter, and they will get something as a thank you for signing up to your newsletter. You can have a hello banner at the top of your site that's static there all the time that they can sign up for, which you can just have sign up for our newsletter and have them sign up there. And what I recommend is a pop-up on exit. So I use MailChimp myself. You may use something different, but you can get a pop-up that appears when people go to leave your site, so it hasn't disrupted their enjoyment of walking around your site and looking at everything. It hasn't irritated them by popping up several times just because they changed what page they were looking at. It's just this last thing as a, by the way, before you go, would you like to sign up for our newsletter? In those pop-ups, you can put a few more words. So you can say, sign up for our newsletter and I will give you a free download of 10 tips to make your wedding photos look amazing. And then they sign up, they get your newsletter, and you've given them something as a thank you for doing that, and you've complied with all your GDPR. As you can see, these are all things that you could do this weekend, but you can certainly make more of them and put more time in if you have it. For example, it could be a great time, as I said, to do a total rebrand of your website. You can make these networking connections, spend more time talking to vendors, get to know about their business, see if you can help them with anything, share each other on social, get your social media sorted, what you're going to do, whether it's going to be a daily upload, whether it's a weekly, whether you're really brave and you do it monthly. You could get all of that set up and set into a routine that will follow you through when we get back to normality. So I'd like to thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to head over to the website www.spwv.co.uk/003 for your download and get the link there to join the waitlist for the membership. Don't forget to hit subscribe where you're listening to this so you're notified when the next episode goes live, and I'll be here, same time, same place next week. Bye for now. Don't forget to hit those stars and leave a review of the podcast where you listen if you found value in what you heard today. It's a free way you can help the podcast reach more people just like you.